Hi everybody and welcome to Alistair Davies Golf. Today's video is really quite simple. It's all about how to stop three putting forever. So we're going to talk a lot about the process of putting and what you do in process terms in order to make three putts happen, rather than the technical side of things. Albeit the routine and process will help technique a little bit for sure as well. So I've got a standard kind of putt here. I've got about a 25-foot putt here up the hill. So I'm going to talk to you about a little bit about people's processes. So what I tend to see with golfers, they get straight to the golf ball, kind of head down, stroke, 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 quick look at the hole and hit the putt. Sometimes they will green read it as well from behind, but they won't do a lot more than that. The first process I want to see you do is basically walk at least halfway of your putt. So if this is my putt, we try and walk on the low side. So this is a kind of left to right breaking putt. So we'd walk on the low side of the putt halfway up. And what I want to do here really is make sure I'm surveying the distance from a perception point of view, so I get an idea of how far it is. I'm also looking from here to see if this ground is uphill or downhill. If it's uphill, it confirms it's left to right. And the amount uphill obviously would mean it's more left to right. So it's given us these little tricks straight away. Secondly, I'm going to look at the hole and think, if the hole was full of water, where would the water run? And quite simply, the water would run down and to the right. And that gives me again the idea that it's uphill and left to right. So all these things are quick little perception, little tools to help me judge distance and so on, and slope. The third thing I'm going to do in my routine is do a practice stroke that allows me to try and get a feel for what I'm going to hit. So I'm going to stand face on to the target, because then it gives me no issues with eye dominancy. I'm going to make some strokes that make me look at the hole, and I'm thinking, okay, if this is a real putt, how hard will I hit it? Almost like if I was going to bowl a ball, how far would I swing to get the ball to the hole? So I'm trying to do as much as I can for the perception of how hard I need to hit the ball to get from A to B. So in terms of green reading, I'm doing these little tricks about where I stood, seeing if it's uphill, downhill. I'm looking at where the water would run, and then perceptionally thinking about how hard I have to hit it to get from A to B. Those things all tie into what I want to do. Technically, obviously I want to have a sound stroke, but I can't really worry too much about my stroke out here on the course. I'm not going to fix it now. It's what I've got's what I've got. So can I roll the ball in a straight line is key. So I might also pick a spot just here to aim at, and ideally think about, can I start the ball in that line? And that's it. So I'm going to do my practice strokes looking at the hole, get an idea of the feel. I'm going to pick a spot then to aim at, concentrate aiming that, and then when I go and hit the putt, I'm going to concentrate, can I roll the ball over said spot? And if I can, it's a good stroke and a good putt. And again, I can do a Billy Mayfair stroke and still hit it over that spot. If the distance is out, and that one was pretty good, if the distance is out short, I'm going to make sure when I do my practice strokes, I take an extra step back from the ball to give me perceptionally a longer distance when I'm doing my practice strokes. If my distance is long all the time, I'm going to stand a little bit closer to the hole and do my practice strokes. Not on my line. If my ball's there, I'm going to be standing here to the side, turn and face, practice stroke. So again, all the time I'm adjusting the perception to make sure I can get the ball the correct distance. And essentially when we're putting, it's about distance control from long range is the most important. I have a traffic light system I try and teach people, which would be, for example, inside 15 foot would be the kind of red zone where all that matters is your line. The distance and pace control takes care of itself. Your 15 to 25 feet would be much more your amber zone, which are going to be much more a case of you've got to do a bit of feel and a bit of direction. And then when you're in your kind of green zone, if you like, or you can have the colours the other way around, but when you're in the green zone at the end, it's all about distance control and get the ball close to the hole and you can have a short tap in putt. You know, yes, you're going to still read the putt, yes, you're still going to try and hit it online, but the most important key would be distance control. If we said to you that tour players average 2.0 putts from 33 feet, so if we've got a putt that's over 30 feet, the odds are in the kind of favour of taking more than 2 putts. So we've got to try and get the distance control nailed down so we get that correct and try and have as many 2 putts as we can. And not worry so much of holding them. Holding them is a bonus. Yeah, you're going to gain shots in the field and that's fantastic. And yet intentionally we want to try and hold every single shot. Otherwise, what's the point in trying? So walk the putt. Ideally what you can do is dump your bag pin high, walk on the green, walk from the flag back to your ball on the low side. Then mark your ball and that bit's done. Then just do your process routine, stick to that, and then commit to hitting the putt over your start line, and I'm sure you'll become a better putter straight away, and you'll definitely stop 3-putting. If you've enjoyed the video, please click like down below. If you've got any comments, please place them in the box. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I've got regular content coming every single week on all different elements of the game.